Today we're making a black peppered ale. I have Maris Otter as my base, and then I have Victory 120, Crystal 60, a little bit of rye, a little bit of chocolate malt, and then I'm gonna add some pepper in when I have 5 minutes left in the boil, see if I can get a nice peppery taste in there. And I'm just heating up my strike water right now. I'm at 160, so another 10 degrees and I'll be good. So we'll see how this turns out. It's a nice fall rainy day, first week of November, so perfect beer for fall, winter coming up, and hopefully it turns out pretty good. This is the first time I've ever used pepper in a beer, so just experimenting a little bit. While my mash is mashing in there, I still have half hour left. I thought I would show you how I wash my yeast and what I do with my yeast to reuse it. So in my last video, when I showed you how to bottle beer, you saw that carboy with all the trub and yeast on the bottom. So basically, you take that and you add purified filtered water, like bottled water from the store that's been purified and filtered, and you take the amount that's in there and double it with water. So you want to, if there's like 3 inches of trub on the bottom, you want to add like 3 inches of water to your carboy, shake it up real good, let it sit for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and all the sediment and trub will go to the bottom, and then there'll be like a thinner liquid on top, which I can't show you right now because I already did it last time. But you take a mason jar or a flask, and you pour that top layer into the flask. That top layer is where all your yeast is. All your yeast is lighter than all the trub, so it stays near the top. So you pour all that into a flask, and then you can wash it again. You want to add more water to it, same amount of water as you have in the bottom. If you don't have purified water or filtered water from the store, like in bottles, you can just boil water for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then make sure you cool it down. Always make sure you cool it down, and you can use that. That will purify out everything that's in the water. So once you wash it, once in the carboy, transfer it after the trub settles out, transfer the top to a mason jar, a sterilized mason jar or flask. Then you wash it again. Then you put it in the fridge for a day or two, and it will look like this right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll put it right here and then move the camera. You can see how all the yeast settled to the bottom. And now, if I wanted to, I could make a starter and reuse that yeast, which is another video, how to make a starter. You can find them all over on YouTube. But I'm not going to make a starter. I'm only doing a 1 gallon batch, and that should be more than enough yeast for a 1 gallon batch. So I just pulled this out of the fridge. Basically, I'm just going to pour off all this to about there, shake it up real good. When my boil's done and I have the wort cooled down and I'm ready to go my carboy, I'm just going to dump that into my carboy with my wort, and that will be my yeast for the next batch. This is probably the fourth. This will be the 4th generation, so I've reused this 4 times so far, and you can use it up to about 10 without really getting any crazy flavors, depending on what yeast strain you're using. That's a safe amount before you throw it out. It also depends on how big your beers are. Mine tend to be kind of bigger beers, so I'm just going to use it up till 10 and then throw it out and start over again. But that's how you reuse your yeast. You have to make sure everything's super sanitized though, because you don't want bacteria getting in there and ruining your yeast. Then you have to go out and buy a new pack, and that sucks, especially if you go to brew and your yeast is screwed up and contaminated. Then you have to hold off on your brew day and go back out and buy some new yeast. So anyway, that's an easy way to wash yeast. So I'm waiting for the boil to break, and I pulled out a little bit just so you could see the color. I really like this color, turned out good. This is what I was going for, this red amber, nice ale, English. I'm not sure if this is going to be an English or an American ale, just because of I'm using a bunch of English and German hops, but who knows. It fits perfectly in the American ale guidelines, so I'm going to go with American ale for now. Actually, it's probably an English ale. I'm using English hops, English yeast. So, just waiting for the boil to break. Alright, I'm adding the first hop additions. Galena at 40 minutes. There we go. I also looked up the style of beer that it fits into, and it actually fits perfectly into a spiced beer. So, whatever that means. I tried it with some, I tried switching the style to all the British ales, and it didn't fit either too high bitterness or too high gravity. So, the style it best fit in was a American brown ale, but I'm using English hops, English yeast, so I don't know how that will fit into an American style. So I saw that there was an option for a spiced beer on my Beersmith app, so I clicked on that and it fit perfectly into that style. All the sliders were right down the center, which is good because I'm adding cracked pepper at the end, so it's going to be a little bit of spice in the beer. So my next hop addition isn't until another 20 minutes, so 25 minutes. So I will be back then. Here we are, everything's done. I couldn't video for some reason, but I did the boil, I did the cool down, put my yeast in the carboy. My carboy from today is actually in here, which is a cooler and a little bit of water with a water bottle ice cube in it, so it stays cool. I want to keep it around 66, 68 while it ferments. When it starts fermenting, it'll warm up 2 or 3 degrees, sometimes even 5 degrees if it's vigorously fermenting, so you want to keep it cool. So there is another brew day, and this is the one I did last week, which was the IPA with Hallertau hops, so I want to see how that turns out. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video, and I will hopefully make a video next week. I try and brew every Wednesday or Thursday, so I will try and make another video with useful information. So hit the like button below. Thanks, see ya.